Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jaime Karbowiak, Executive Director of the Roslyn Landmark Society, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us here today to celebrate some extremely talented students and the Roslyn Landmark Society's partnership with the Roslyn High School Art Club on the Mackay Estate Gate Lodge Art Windows Project. For those of you who are not familiar with our organization, the Roslyn Landmark Society was founded in 1961 by Dr. Roger and Peggy Gary to preserve the historic resources and structures in Roslyn during a time when this area was facing intense development pressure. Since that time, the organization has preserved close to 50 historic structures and counting, including the Mackay Estate Gate Lodge. I would like to take this opportunity to thank John Santos, co-president of the Roslyn Landmark Society and chairperson of the Landmark Society's Mackay Estate Gate Lodge Committee, for all his hard work on this restoration. And I'd also like to now introduce to you another motivating force behind this restoration project, as well as much of what the Roslyn Landmark Society does and succeeds at doing for a number of years now. Howard Kroplick, co-president of the Roslyn Landmark Society.
Thank you, Jamie. You can see I dressed up today because I'm wearing my East Hills cap, given to me by the mayor. Did you notice that, Michael? Very good. So welcome, everybody. So what is the history of this building? For the next hour, no, I'm not going to, we'll take an hour. The next 3 minutes, I'm going to give you a quick history of the building and how it's being preserved and restored. The Mackay Estate Gate Lodge is architecturally significant. It's a representative example of a country estate building and one of the country estate architectures of Stanford White. You've heard the name of the firm McKim, Mead, and White. He was the most prestigious architect active in America at the turn of the century during the Gilded Age. Yes, the Gilded Age that you see on HBO's series, The Gilded Age, Stanford White's one of the characters. Dr. Roger Gary, as Jamie told us, the founder of the Roslyn Landmark Society, once called the Gate Lodge the most significant historic building in the village of East Hills. It was designed in 1899, built in 1902 as the main entrance to Clarence Mackay's marvelous 576-acre Harbor Hill estate. This 2,000 square foot Gate Lodge is an important survivor from the period when Long Island was being developed with huge estates. This Gate Lodge is particularly interesting because it was designed as a miniature version of the big house. So people on a public road got to see what the big house is going to look like and the architectural splendor of that beautiful estate mansion. The Harbor Hill country home of Clarence Mackay was one of the largest and most significant mansions ever built on Long Island. It served for many memorable formal parties, including a 1924 grand party for the Prince of Wales, who became King Edward VIII. On June 13th, 1927, after a huge ticker tape parade before 4 million people in Manhattan, Charles Lindbergh passed through these gates on his way to celebrate his return from Paris right here at the Harbor Hill estate. So right through these gates, Charles Lindbergh came, and the whole village of Roslyn came out and surrounded this whole area. Unfortunately, the mansion was demolished in 1947. The property was sold in the late 1950s and became the Country Estates housing development, as we see in the background. Most of the residents of East Hills still remember from 1970 to 2008, the Mackay Estate Gate Lodge property was used as the Country Estates Swim Club, with this building really storing a lot of the equipment. 15 years ago, 15 years, it's hard to believe, the Mackay Estate, over 20 years, the Mackay Estate Gate Lodge and its surrounding 3.2 acres was sold to a property developer. And there was some concern that this building would be taken down and demolished as well. But through the efforts of Mayor Koblenz, that was not going to happen. In September 3rd, 2017, the Village of East Hills acquired the Mackay Estate Gate Lodge with plans to preserve it and restore it with the assistance of the Roslyn Landmark Society. Initial funding for the restoration was generated by agreements with the property owner, by the Village of East Hills, led again by Mayor Koblenz. In 2023, with the assistance of the Roslyn Landmark Society, a grant was obtained from Long Island's Robert David Lyon Gardner Foundation to replicate the historic windows and doors. And you can see the plywood where those historic windows and doors are going to be installed later this year. I also want to thank my fellow co-president, John Santos. Where are you, John? There we go, John. Because John's company, Island Contracting, has been providing pro bono cleanup assistance throughout the last couple of years. So let's hear it again for John. With the assistance of future funding grants and community support, the vision is to return the Gate Lodge to the way it looked in 1902, including repairing the windows and doors, replacing or restoring the slate roof above me over here, gutters and gates, new landscaping, and importantly, returning the roof clock to the middle of the Gate Lodge, and also creating appropriate office and storage space. Finally, it's planned that the completed building will become a history resource center for the Village of East Hills, the Roslyn School District right across the street, and its residents. Finally, I'd like to personally thank our student scholarship winners. You'll hear more about them in a little while. Isabella Santos and Hannah Bailey. Let's hear it for them. No, you won't have to make a speech. So finally, it's my honor to introduce Mayor Michael Koblenz, Mayor of the Village of East Hills, whose efforts have been recognized throughout Long Island. Preservation Long Island gave him the 2022 Preservation Award. Michael, come over here and say a few words.
It's been my honor to work with the Landmark Society in trying to preserve this gate. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to bring it back to what it used to look like. Country Estates became Mackay Estates. I have in my office, when I first became mayor, a friend of mine gave me the ad offering to sell the 522 acres of the Mackay Estate back in the day. So I have a picture of the offer and the house and everything else. And it was bought by a developer. And Country Estates is what it is. The pool club was here for a number of years. Once I built the park at East Hills, there was no reason for them to exist because it was part of their village tax, the residents, and so they all went to the park at East Hills. There was no need for it. We had a lot of graffiti here. Got lots of pictures with Howard and me and all the graffiti that went on. This place became noted as a landmark place for skateboarding in the pool. And we had to call the police many, many times because people from all over New York came here with their skateboards and thought that this was the place to be. We had to put holes in the pool and make sure people got out of there, but that's one of the things that happened here. The graffiti was horrible. Howard and I spent multiple days trying to figure out who's going to clean it and how we're going to get it cleaned. It's spotless now, and we try and keep an eye on it with cameras and the police to make sure nobody comes here and puts anything on it. So I am very appreciative of your efforts, the Landmark Society, Mr. Santos, who was certainly a guiding light for this, since I know nothing about construction. I'm just a lawyer, and a mayor, but I know nothing about it, so I rely on him when I say, is that tile going to fall and kill somebody? And he tells me, no, it's really secure. I checked it myself, so I have to rely on him, because I was pretty nervous when you walk in there. One of the slate tiles in there if it fell on you, you'd be seriously hurt. But we've gotten it in a place where it's safe, and that's thanks to you, not me. I just was the guy looking at it and saying, what do we do next? So, thank you very much. As far as our art students, looking forward to having something beside plywood up in those windows. And I turn the program over to... okay. It's all yours.
Thank you, Mayor Koblenz. I'd like to introduce now Mitchell Schwartz, the chairperson of the Roslyn Landmark Society's Education Committee.
Thank you, Jamie. Good afternoon, everybody. So this very historic day is possible in large part in addition to all the hard efforts of Mike and Howard. It's also because of the students of Roslyn High School. The artwork that you see before you was truly a labor of love. Back in, I think it was late August, when Howard first reached out to me with the idea, he was like, maybe this could be a good idea. So, at his request, I reached out to the school district, and Roslyn School District, being the amazing district it is, also loved the idea. And so, with that, we got in contact with the art department at Roslyn High School. And so the art department, and specifically the art club, were all equally as excited about the idea. So with that, we continued negotiating, we continued our discussions, and we figured out what the right supplies were. And, you know, the specifics as to everything. John was a terrific help, and his daughter has done so much work. It's unbelievable. And so with that, the art club got started, and they worked and worked and worked and worked. They consulted with us. We helped them whenever they had a question for us. And fast forward to now, here we are today to unveil it all. Thank you to all the students who worked so hard on this project. The work you did is something that's going to be remembered by this community for a long time. It's forever going to be etched into the history of this structure. The history of this unbelievably historic structure, which is known across Long Island and is beloved by this whole community. Thank you all, and congratulations. And once again, this hard work of yours is forever going to be remembered. And this community owes a great debt of gratitude to all of you.
Thank you, Mitchell. Can I ask Isabella and Hannah to come up, and we'll reveal the art panels created by the art club. Beautiful. Thank you, ladies. They're going to look fantastic for people driving through, as the Mackay Estate Gate Lodge once stood as the entryway to the Mackay Estate. Now it serves as the entryway to both the village of Roslyn and the village of East Hills. And these beautiful paintings are now going to greet everyone as they come into these two fantastic villages. So thank you, girls. I'd like to now welcome Jennifer Lister, Project Director for the Roslyn Landmark Society.
Thank you. I have the pleasure of giving the Gardner Youth Scholar Award today. The Gardner Youth Scholar is offered to historical societies on Long Island by the Robert David Lyon Gardner Foundation. The intern, the recipient of the award, is to complete 100 hours of service to the Historical Society. So in 2023, the Landmark Society nominated Isabella Santos to be our award recipient. Isabella's been volunteering for the Landmark Society for a couple of years now in the summers, helping me out a lot in the office, which I greatly appreciate. And then, as you've heard today, spearheaded the art project, which was her Gardner Youth Scholar 100 hours of internship. She has completed this task. It's over the year from June to June. She has done her final report, so I am happy today to award Isabella Santos the $1,500 scholarship from the Robert David Lyon Gardner Foundation.
Michelle, get up there.
Hi, Lauren.
Can I borrow some?
There we go. That's a good shot.
And we have one additional award today. In August 2023, the Robert David Lyon Gardner Foundation also awarded the Roslyn Landmark Society $1,000 in discretionary funds, which our organization then decided to use to create a scholarship for a deserving student participating in the Mackay Estate Gate Lodge Art Windows project. The recipient of this scholarship is the vice president of Roslyn High School's Art Club, and along with our Gardner Young Scholar Isabella Santos, was instrumental in seeing the project through to completion. So, on behalf of the Roslyn Landmark Society, in appreciation of all the hard work that went into this project, I'd like to present this scholarship award to Hannah Bailey. And that concludes our... Oh, yeah, I have it. I'd like to thank you all for being here again today. We could not do what we do without your support. We will soon be launching the Mackay Estate Gate Lodge Founders Club program, so please stay tuned and keep an eye out for that on our website. Also, please make sure to enjoy some refreshments over on the table. Donated today for this event by Diane's Bakery in the village of Roslyn, and we hope to see you at one of our upcoming events this summer. We have on June 30th a pizza party at 55 Lumber Road. It starts at 11 o'clock, and we hope to see you all there. Thank you again, and thank you to our students.
All right. 2, 3, 4. Okay, great.
Good.
All right.